What's up? Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Bits for everything good and bad inside the world of Apple. You know, Apple's working on a Mac inside of a keyboard, and the Apple Watch Series 8 is looking to get a big update. But first, we gotta start with the iPhone 14 Pro. Now, recently leaked schematics claim to show what's believed to be the true size of the rumored notch and pill cutout design that multiple reports say we should expect to see in the new iPhone 14 Pro lineup. This leak comes from a post on Chinese blogging site Weibo, and even John Prosser says that he's been able to independently verify that the schematic represents the final design that we expect to see on the 14 Pro lineup. Now, the biggest thing to note here is that if you match up these new schematics to previous renders, the punch hole and pill are going to be larger than first believed. But it appears that if true, Apple could just be taking the components that are normally in the notch that are already there and then getting rid of the areas that were blacked out that don't include the camera or the sensors. And if you don't like it, hey, think of it like this. If we turn it on its side, we really do have the iPhone, because that makes a letter I on its side. Oh, isn't that cute? But come on, what are the chances that Apple's going to actually use that in their marketing push? It just feels so obvious and corny, but will they actually do it? I mean, come on, what do you think? Is it better than the notch for me? Sure, I guess, but the single punch hole design is still superior right now, and by the time Apple even gets there, I'm guessing other phones might not even have a punch hole by then, just like the Z Fold 3 and others. But the reality is that this is not gonna stop any of you from upgrading unless you've seen how impressive that S22 Ultra looks. Other than it being in a different ecosystem, this is the best phone on the market this year with all of its features, and it will probably still be that by the end of this year. Now, if you're looking to freshen up your iPhone 13 or 13 Pro this spring, check out these leaked photos that reveal 4 new MagSafe silicone case covers from Twitter user Majin Buu. It's new shades of yellow, orange, blue, and green, and the thinking is that matching Apple Watch bands will also be on their way. We can also expect new leather and MagSafe wallet options on top of this. And we know Apple's rumored March 8th event, it hasn't been confirmed yet, but if it does happen, the invitation should go out, sometime this week. We're still expecting to potentially see the new 3rd generation iPhone SE, the 5th generation iPad Air, and new Macs. We have this rumored new 13-inch MacBook Pro with an M2 chip and potentially new Mac Minis. Those are the hottest rumors right now, but we're gonna wait and see what gets officially announced. Now, we are expecting, though, to see at least one Mac announced at this spring event. It'll be Apple's first event of the year, and I called it the appetizer for a big year from Apple, but Greg in the comments, he did me one better and called it the Appletizer. So we're gonna go with that. Apple's March 8th event will now be their appetizer for 2022. Man, now I'm hungry. All right, it's gonna be a big year either way, whether it's the all-new Macs that are expected to drop with the new rumored M2 MacBook Air, it could be the larger screen iMac Pro, and the rumored new Mac Pros and all the new Apple displays that might come along with those. That doesn't even include speed bumps for the existing Mac lineup that we could see. Now, Bloomberg's Mark Gurman now says, hey, add the Apple Watch Series 8 to the list, because he reports the new Apple Watch is expected to get major updates, including better activity tracking and faster chips. But Gurman reports that Apple will likely introduce 3 new Apple Watch models, including a new Series 8, an updated Apple Watch SE, and a more rugged Apple Watch for the extreme sports users. Could that be that new kind of boxier shaped off Apple Watch that we did not see last year? We'll find out. Now, there are no major new health sensors that are expected, and we've pretty much squashed the idea of blood sugar tracking coming anytime soon. That's still a few years away. There is still the chance, though, that a body temperature sensor makes it, but no blood pressure, no body composition sensors that other smartwatches have included right now. But still, let's be honest here, closing your rings and then the Apple Fitness Plus, platform, that has really created this ecosystem that people who use the Apple Watch just love, and I'm still using it since, it started. It is really like catchy and sticky. Now, Gurman also claims this could be the year that Apple finally discontinues the Series 3, and that has to be the right move because its hardware hasn't been able to keep up with the software for a few years now. It just feels really clunky. So big things could be coming for the Apple Watch with 3 new models this year. All right, let's take a moment to thank the sponsor of this video, Trends. Trends is a service that tells you the next big things that are happening before everyone is talking about them. This is a thriving community where entrepreneurs and ambitious people get together to learn, workshop, and collaborate. Now, new ideas are sent to you weekly, and then their team of business analysts outline 1,000 plus business ideas that you can even start in a weekend. Trends, they host live virtual business trainings and Q&A sessions to learn everything from advanced marketing techniques to getting funding from venture capitalists. This is an engaged community that supports the entrepreneurial spirit. You're also gonna get access to the Trends community where you can exchange ideas, meet other members, find mentors, or even co-investors. It's really the community to be part of for entrepreneurs. Now, one of my favorite features is signals. These are trending topics with a breakdown of how they've exploded. This one here called Growing Your Twitter Following. It resonated for me with ideas and strategies that I've never used before, but I'm going to now. So take advantage of this special offer that you can only get on my channel. To start your 7-day trial, go to trends.co/Brian Tong. That's trends.co/Brian Tong for your 7-day trial for just $1. All right, let's get back to the stories. And I didn't lead with this one, but I really wanted to, because Apple is actively looking at a Mac inside of a keyboard device. Yeah, a recent patent application was revealed by the US Patent and Trademark Office for what is described as a computer in an input device that's described as a thicker Magic Keyboard style chassis with all the components of a high-performance computer integrated inside the body of the keyboard. So you could then plug it into an external display with a single I/O port and wirelessly pair it with a trackpad or a mouse. And this does kind of feel like a throwback to the days of the Commodore 64 in the 80s, but think about what Apple has right now, and this device makes perfect sense. We're living in a time where the hybrid work experience is gonna be more normal. Apple has the chips that have more than enough power and graphics to run cool and quiet inside something like this keyboard design. And as someone who travels a lot between the Bay Area and Southern California, I love this idea of bringing a keyboard around as my only device for work. Now, this might not be really for people who are editing high-end video content and creative projects that require, some of the top-of-the-line machines, but even right now, the base level M1 can already handle multiple streams of 4K video. So could I see a place for a product like this for most people that, let's say, just use computers for their work in the future and maybe even casually? Yes, but what will happen, right? Who knows? Is it coming anytime soon? Probably not, but reports of Apple working on a more affordable display, we've heard about this for a few months or so. This could be a perfect partner for this Mac in a keyboard type thing. Having the same desktop experience at any location with just something the size of a keyboard in my bag, I love this idea. And the reality is that Apple has filed for plenty of patents in the past, even one for a keyboard layout that has touchscreen panels for the keyboard area, but that hasn't happened yet. So I would just say let's not get ahead of ourselves, but this is a product that actually makes sense right now, and I already have a name for it. The IKEA board. I repeat, the IKEA board. I just wanted to add the extra letter A in there because I like saying IKEA, and this is my show, so I could call it whatever I want. Someone's like, no, you should call it the iKeyboard. It makes more sense. All right, fine. Plus, though, IKEA, they have this cool bucket hat that's made out of their bags that I really want, and it has an average 4.8 star review. Like, this thing is legit. Okay, one of the hot trends that you're either on board with or not in this tech space are foldables, and the products, they're still refining themselves, but they are already very good. Well, a recent report from display analyst Ross Young, who has a good reputation here, claims that Apple is delaying its foldable iPhone project until 2025. That's a significant delay because when you think about it, by then, Samsung will be on its Z Fold 7 by 2025-ish, and the product will be very mature by then. The report says that with the current supply chain situation and user demand, Apple's not in a hurry to enter this market. So for all of you that have been just desperately waiting for Apple's version of a foldable phone, you're gonna have to wait at least 3 more years. And Young then added in his report that, okay, Apple isn't stopping there, and they are also exploring the possibility of producing a foldable notebook with a 20-inch screen foldable display. And this notebook would be all screen. Now, the time frame for a launch for something like this would be later than 2025, with maybe 2026 or 2027 being the more likely possibility. Apple even getting into this foldable space obviously is gonna help boost the product category just by them being involved, but we're still a long way away from that happening. But when you hear this, right, Apple is actively exploring making a 20-inch foldable notebook. Do you want that? There's a lot of questions that I have For example, how much of a crease will we see? How thick will it actually be to prevent this foldable from being itself foldable? And I already know I don't mind doing emails and surfing the web with a touchscreen for short amounts of time on the iPad Pro, but working on a touchscreen keyboard for hours and hours, especially for what I do, that doesn't seem appealing to me at all. Now, I'm probably more excited about the idea of a foldable 20-inch display more than anything, but this doesn't sound that practical to me. You know, I would love to hear what you think. Are you thinking, hey, Apple, just go home already because you are drunk with this idea? Or are you all in for an all-display MacBook? Hey, put it in the comments and I'll read them while I trim my sideburns. All right, everybody, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like what you see, give me that thumbs up, subs up, and hit that notification bell, ding, to get all my latest videos when they drop. And if you want more of that Apple goodness, you can check out my weekly Apple Bits XL audio podcast to get the latest deep dive with all these stories and new ones every week with special guests. Until next time, I'll see you on the next video, and we will find out if the March 8th event gets an official announcement this week. Like I said, it's the appetizer. Sounds tasty. All right, take care and be safe, everybody. Peace and love.